I got something in the mail from IRS. Sharks, alligators, crocodiles, bears, fucking fish. There are an overabundance of horror films featuring these animals on epic killing sprees. Seldom seen, though, are horror films featuring killer birds. Yes, there are a few good ones, sure. 1963's The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock, and that's pretty much it. There are a few other killer bird movies, but they are not good, and some could even be described as foul. Thanks, killing is a whole other thing. Please, let's stay focused. But if The Birds is the best by a country generic phrase mile, then what film would be its opposite? What movie could have the same plot of birds going crazy and turning on mankind and yet be so completely, utterly awful in every single aspect?
Surprise, motherfucker!
I'm your host, fucking Dave, and tonight we find out on a very unfortunate episode of Everybody Dies. 2010, James' last name found supposedly $10,000 in a basket with a note that read, "Please use this to ruin the world." James did just that as he spent all of the money on other things and saved a $5 to make his magnum opus. Birdemic, shit, and garbage. Many questions arose. Did The Birds need a $5 remake by some nobody? Could you make a movie for only $5? Should you make a movie for only $5? Why is my ass so dirty? Don't I wipe? The answer to all of these questions was a resounding no, and we could have never found out if it weren't for Severin Films. Severin is one of the best companies today, restoring and distributing rare, out-of-print, and impossible to find films, especially horror. They've released impeccable Blu-rays of horror gems such as The Changeling, Emmanuel and the Last Cannibals, Skinner, Zombie Holocaust, Bloody Moon, Burial Ground, Eaten Alive, Massacre in Dinosaur Valley. Oh fuck. And then for no earthly reason they picked up and distributed, when no one else would, this fucking movie. The title alone should tell you everything you need to know, but actually until you watch it, you won't realize that the stupid fucking title is the least worst thing about it. So let's get this over with. We open on poorly shot, low-quality footage of a man driving while the same 30-second loop of whimsical music repeats endlessly. After 2 minutes of this, the opening credits begin. The font is the same as the credits in my show. One could say I can't complain if my credits are as uninspired and lazy as the ones I'm complaining about, but to them I say, I do this for free. This movie costs $10,000. Make like a tree and go fuck yourself. Supporting casts. We keep following this man as he drives for another 2 minutes. Still no dialogue or audio besides this goddamn music. We enter a small town and the guy finally pulls into a lot in the Mustang the actor rented for this movie and gets out. The music loop mercifully ends as well. We cut between a front and back shot of the man, and the way that he walks and the pacing changes every time. The background noise also cuts in and out. This amazing audio all leads up to our first dialogue at 5 minutes into the movie, and it is glorious.
Hi.
Here is the menu.
Thank you.
I'll be right back with you.
I now believe in pod people. Our lead should be starving since he drove so long and so far to eat here specifically for some reason, but since he is a pod person, he does not require nutrients and instead acts like a creep. Watching this woman pretend to cut a steak and mouthing back words like the steak is attempting to teach her how to speak. Eventually she is done speaking steak and leaves. Our lead rapist plays it real smooth and after eye-fucking her for hours, pursues this poor woman with reckless abandon. Not even paying for his bottle of water, glass of orange juice, and mug of whatever. Holy fuck, this guy was thirsty, and his thirst continues. The rapist catches up to her after a robotic stalking session, and this awkward exchange goes on for too long, where he remembers her from school and leads to this red flag of a reaction.
Yeah, I sat 2 seats behind you.
You remember that far?
Yeah. So, what do you do?
Call the police. She manages to escape, and he watches her walk away for a disturbing amount of time. Then he starts chasing after her again, this time yelling her name, Natalie, which no one said prior. He also never gives his name. She acts like she hasn't seen him in a while instead of screaming for help. He continues to be a creep, asking for her number. They exchange business cards, and she escapes his evil wrath once more. He continues watching her like a fucking psychopath. What is wrong with the writer-director that he thinks this is okay human behavior? We shittily transition to, we still don't know what his name is, as he sits in what I can only assume is his next victim's home, sipping on pod nectar, sniffing her panties, and watching the news. The news is talking conveniently about flocks of various birds being found dead. The nameless pervert, home invader, rapist, and the newscaster have a staring contest to see who is the deadest on the inside. No one wins. Public enemy number 1 ends the home invasion and walks out to his car rental once more. I don't know what the fuck this background music is supposed to be. The scariest thing in this movie are these gas prices. Holy fuck, I don't miss that shit. As America's Most Wanted interrupts the endless driving footage to fill up his rental car, we now know where the budget of this movie went. At 10 minutes in, he pulls over and gets out once more. Jesus fucking Christ, it's only been 10 minutes and it has felt like an eternity. This is Manos levels of nothing happening. These people who are unaware that they are being filmed against their will in one of the worst movies ever made are busy with their real lives and don't have time for this guy's slow robot walking ass. Blur to our sexual deviant working a desk job talking to someone on a headset. To get their business, he offers something on top of a 50% discount, and yet his dialogue is similar to someone working at a fast food drive-thru.
Can I place your order today? Great, thanks. We appreciate your business. Woohoo! Caught the big fish.
Yeah? How big was the sale?
$1 million.
Awesome, man!
Biggest sale of my career.
So he made a $1 million deal, but he gave away 50% and something more? He's fucking fired, right? I mean, he should be in prison, but that's besides the fact. Meanwhile, at the 1 Hour photo store, Robin Williams is taking pictures of our poor female lead. Who does modeling at a 1 Hour photo store? She just keeps getting involved with creeps. This woman, who I thought was the same actress at first, calls her and tells her that she was chosen to be the next Victoria's Secret cover model. From dirty photo stores after hours to Victoria's Secret in a hot minute. Diet Patrick Bateman returns to his car and calls our poor Natalie using the card she stupidly gave him earlier. Her ringtone is a bicycle bell, and I like to think that that is a real bell because they couldn't afford a working cell phone.
Hello?
Natalie?
Who is this?
It's Rod.
Oh, the guy from the restaurant. What's up?
14 minutes in, and we finally learn our lead's name. Natalie somehow knows exactly who is calling her, though she never learned his name earlier. They make small talk about their day and respective deals they made. Then Rod, because the pervert is named after a hard dick, says this.
I closed a big job offer today with Victoria's Secret.
Wow, congratulations. I think you'll look great in those lingerie.
Thanks.
He then asks her out to dinner, and she agrees for some god-unknown reason and says, "See you then," after no day or time is even suggested.
And the Oscar goes to...
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 And the Oscar goes...
And the Oscar goes. And the Oscar goes to.
The Oscar goes to...
The Oscar goes to.
And the Oscar goes to...
The Oscar goes to...
And the Oscar goes to...
And the Oscar goes to...
And the Oscar goes to...
Hey, it was nice running into you at Half Moon Bay. So, how about dinner to celebrate your success? I know a good Vietnamese restaurant. Yes.
Meanwhile, on the set of White Men Can't Jump, Rod and his perv friend talk about Natalie. Apparently a few days have passed. Their date is this weekend.
A day without sex is a day wasted, man.
Cut to Rod back in his previous victim's house watching the news once more. Now, a lot of this review is going to be filler. It seems like I'm just showing random nothing parts happening in the movie just for the sake of making this review longer. Well, if I only cover the parts where something actually happens in this movie, the review in this whole video would be 5 minutes long, if that. So I have to show you how, in this hour and 45-minute runtime, that there is just nothing fucking going on at any given goddamn moment. I'll finally show some mercy, and we're gonna skip ahead through the solar panel estimate scene, even though it is top-notch, edge-of-your-seat entertainment. 18 minutes in and our leads are at their date. It's as cringy and bad as you'd expect as they talk about their jobs that the writer clearly knows nothing about. The restaurant is very dark except for our leads who appear to be the chosen ones for the goddamn rapture. She then mentions someone named Alex and Joe from You goes berserk.
I'd like to spend time with Alex.
Alex.
He's really cute.
Who is Alex?
And I love him to death.
Come on, let me see the picture. Is he your boyfriend?
I can't wait for you to meet him.
Come on, let me see it. Come on, let me see it.
Alright, meet Alex.
You're right. He is cute. So you're a cat's lover.
Yes.
Yes, hooray for Kat, 10 out of 10. But how is she so calm when this man who just stalked her and tricked her into a date flips out of jealousy just like that? The writer is a fucking sociopath and clearly has no idea how real people think or act. This movie is hated because of how poorly made it is, but I am more alarmed by this fucking piece of shit and what he's doing to this unfortunate woman. James' last name even said he based this character off of himself. Jesus fucking Christ. By the way, Kat's lover.
So you're a cat's lover.
They fade to a scene of them walking around and our first bird footage comes gliding in and holy mother of fuck. They seriously used clip art for special effects. Could they not insert stock footage of birds flying? They're not even attacking or doing anything, just doing bird shit. This isn't necessary or even legal. It can't be. Look how they just glide in nonchalantly. After more footage of their endless date, including this wonderful green screen shot, the two love birds end up at her place. They say goodbye, but not before this scene because, of course.
Good night. See you next week.
Can't I come in?
Not on the first date. I'm not that kind of girl.
Okay.
I'm legitimately getting pissed off now. Natalie goes to see her insignificant mom character, whose acting is as good as you'd expect.
Oh, that's my girl!
For some reason, everyone looks blurry and juxtaposed into the background they are actually in. It takes talent to film this bad. Meanwhile, this hot and steamy not sex scene is going on and they are wearing swimsuits because the director is so out of touch with basic human behavior that he thought that this would be less awkward. And that sign is obviously where the film's budget really went.
Look at that subtle off-white coloring. The tasteful thickness of it. Oh my god. It even has a watermark.
And for some unknown reason, that website belongs to Yoko Ono. And yes, that's Rod's friend from earlier.
Sex, 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 sex.
And she just happens to be Natalie's friend. Go figure. They set up a double date. Later at the double date, Jesus fuck, this chick is a big Yoko Ono fan. Since they didn't pay her, was this what they had agreed on? What's next, a fucking billboard? They are discussing an inconvenient truth, which they just talked about. Between that and the news footage from earlier, there really is a message about global warming that they're really jabbing down our throats, but acting like they're being subtle about it. This is going to end up explaining the bird attacks that still haven't happened 32 minutes into this movie called Birdemic. Fast forward, for the sake of my fucking sanity, past 10 plus minutes of long filler scenes of Rod starting his own solar panel company, he and Natalie visiting an art and pumpkin festival, going to the beach, and holy fuck, real birds! Oh, never mind. Rod meets Natalie's mother because she's really going all in on dating her fucking stalker. It's a long, cringy scene, so I skipped ahead past more bad audio cuts and a camera that keeps trying to leave.
All I want is you.
Are you sure?
Definitely. Guys are usually just into me for my looks, the sex, but you're not like that.
I think you'll look great in those lingerie. Can't I come in?
He's like, really? Are you that fucking stupid? And then this happens.
Long time. Don't you owe me some money? I think somebody's calling. I gotta go. Just hanging out with the family.
This goes on for 3 minutes. Then we cut to the most uncomfortable scene I've ever seen in my life, and I watch a Serbian film for fun.
Rod, what do you think?
You look fine.
Yeah, she's hot and all, and it would help the movie a tiny bit if I didn't feel so fucking dirty, uncomfortable, and worst of all, sad. I legitimately feel fucking sad. 45 minutes of this man stalking, manipulating, and conning this poor woman, leading to this clear example of Stockholm Syndrome. It just makes me feel so incredibly sad for this actress and any woman in real life that has met the writer-director of this movie. We pan around the town for a while with no audio, complete silence, and then 47 minutes into this 90-minute movie called Birdemic, the birds look like emoticons. They sound like jets flying by. They are highly explosive as they crash and blow up everything around them. But hey, at least gas prices went down. I have been waiting for the Birdemic to happen this entire time, and now that it has, I want it to stop. Immediately. Listen to this. This movie went from a 45-minute, $0 summary of the first 2 seasons of You, and became whatever this PowerPoint presentation is. How these two things came together in the same movie, I don't know. The good news is that this is the rest of the movie. They run somewhere, meet some people, fight some awful looking effects, and repeat. So I don't have to review the rest. I'll just show some random clips to summarize how awful it is because words can't describe. Just imagine this clip for 40 minutes. They pick up some recently made orphans and they fit right in.
Thank you. Thanks. Thank you.
Then this guy. The bird flu virus guy goes on forever, confirming my idea from earlier that global warming is to blame for the birdemic. I would be happy that I was right, but because of this movie, I will never be happy again. Bird flu virus guy goes on and on about this theory, and we should believe him because he's a bird scientist. He tells us twice. I wonder how much he knows about bird law. I would like to confirm that this movie took 4 years to make. So really this was made before M. Night Shyamalan Ding Dong's The Happening. So the whole deal with global warming causing nature to come back and kill us for being fucks, that came from Birdemic first. The Happening is a ripoff of Birdemic. If you didn't think The Happening was bad enough, Holy fuck. Oh look, they're best friends. Poor Yoko got her cheek bit and died. We can now imagine that she is at peace. Fuck it, let's go fishing.
We got a fish.
Looks good. I got some seaweed.
Good.
Yuck, I want Happy Meal.
Me too. No, you guys, there's no Happy Meals around here. Here, just try the seaweed. It'll be really good.
No, I want a Happy Meal.
I fucking hate kids. Oh no, a bird attack. Who knew that would happen? Why do all these species of birds make the same fucking noise? Our heroes, a psychopath and his victim, in case you forgot, hide in their van while the birds continue their hovering. After several minutes, this happens.
Look! They're leaving!
They walk to the beach and watch the birds leave for 5 minutes. This is the only dialogue.
I wonder why there's no
Eventually the movie ends. No reason for the birds to just stop and leave. The credits roll as we continue watching the birds slowly clip art into the distance. It took them 4 years to make this movie. The end. It is unknown if the director made this movie bad on purpose, or if he is just so inept he made the room for the horror genre without knowing it. That answer is much clearer in the sequel, which he made 3 years later to capitalize on his newfound infamy and his 5 minutes of shame. For that reason and countless others, I will not review Birdemic 2 because it was obviously made bad on purpose. This film, I wholeheartedly believe everyone involved was truly trying to make a serious movie and just failed in every regard, and that's how it came out so incredibly bad. This is not manufactured bad on purpose. This is legit just fucking terrible for reals. The scary thing is, unlike the casts of other films I review, people from this production went on to be in other things. Terrifying. I almost didn't review this movie because everyone and their bitch of a mother has covered it already, but if I'm going to have a series where I review the worst horror movies ever made, then I can't leave this abomination out. And that is all for this episode because I can't take anymore. Next time we will have another killer animal themed movie for you. Kind of. Next time we will be going on an Easter egg hunt. I know Easter has already happened by the time this video is going to come out, but that's because I procrastinate like a motherfucker. But anyway, instead of eggs, all we're going to find is shit. Rabbit shit. The next episode will take place on the night before Easter. Now, this is not going to come out the night before Easter, clearly, or on Easter. It's probably going to be the end of April, if I even get it out this month at all. You're lucky you got this episode, so take what you get. Anyway, I've been your host, fucking Dave, and I'll see you on the next episode of the shit show that I call Everybody Dies.
Caw, caw, bang, fuck, I'm dead!